Coaching. La casa de las maestrías de coaching.
Hi, good evening. I am Renee Edgehill-Smith, leader of the International Association of Coaching, the USA chapter. I'm here tonight with Rosalba Ruiz, and we are here for the news, the Quo Vadis Coaching News Update, Day 3. And boy, it did not disappoint. Oh my goodness. Today you really had to have your thinking caps on because they brought so much knowledge to the table that it was about the topic of mindfulness, being centered and having inner peace, and how that impacts coaching. And the topics and how deep they went into each that area was profound. It was excellent. It's something, if you can catch it on the streaming, to the recording, do so, because it brought something new. We're talking about inviting possibilities, which is this overall series for this webinar. And trust me, what they brought is definitely broadening the thoughts of coaching to the IAC. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the overall process that I believe that was the takeaway for me. And it was we had 4 panelists, and we took their information, they shared with us. And for me, it made a connection to, it really was like they were giving us an actual process that we could use with our clients when we are coaching in regards to being mindful and being centered and having inner peace. So the first step was by Pepe Del Rio, and he said, as coaches, we must be centered and have inner peace. He said, what I liken to be like a baker, to know that you will be successful because you have the right ingredients. So bringing that to the coaching, it would be knowing that you know the 9 masteries, know the ethics, the vision, the mission, knowing and being comfortable and being centered and having inner peace, your product, is going to be fine. So what we have to do is focus on the process, which is making sure all the ingredients are there with the client so they can actually have a successful product. It was really excellent. And so he was saying the journey, it's about the process, the journey with our clients and getting them to their goal, not about what the goal is, the end result. Sometimes we just have that in mind, but as coaches, we need to think about the process. And Rosalba is going to get deep into that after, in a little while. For step 2, it was Marcelo, and he spoke about once a client is centered and has inner peace, that and a goal is established, that the client should be focused on visualizing and achieving it. So they should visualize it happening. And then he said he compared it to climbing. Marcelo compared it to climbing a mountain. He said, you can go up the mountain, but once you get up, you have to come back down. And for me, that said, once the client visualizes the goal, that they have to then bring it to the present so it can manifest in reality. So if you go up, you have to come down. Both can be equally dangerous. So there are things to be considered when you're going both up and visualizing and then bringing it into the present. And making it become reality. And step number 3 was Jessica Liu. And she shared that being mindfully centered, both the coach and the client, that taking the goal after applying it or bringing it to the present, that the experience, taking that same process and applying it to the rest of their life. So your life is like a museum, and every room you go into a museum is different. And being able to apply that process, the visualization of whatever the goal might be, to wherever you are in your life at that time, and applying it to the present. It's one thing to do it and get it, but then to be able to make it habit. And she was saying she brought that. Good. Step 4 was Gonzalo, and he took us definitely deeper. And I hope that Rosalba would go really deep like she normally does, that she's been doing all week. I hope she does this one too, because he said so many fascinating things that he explained that whenever we're thinking about mindfulness and inner peace, we have to learn not to apply what we learned in step 3 with a broad brush into our life, not just think that it's a one-size-fits-all situation, that we have to have our clients compartmentalize the different aspects of their lives and then apply the mindfulness, apply bringing their goals and what they want to achieve into the present, and then being able to walk and go through and have it manifest. So she was saying to keep in mind our relationship. What happens is he said what we have to do is keep in mind our relationship with others and the relationship that we have with ourselves, within ourselves, and meaning that being undisturbed by life as we go through life, giving them the instruments to do this successfully. So I remember I had a conversation with a wise woman. She is a coach. Her name is Martha Pasternak. And when I think about this process, she told me that she felt that the first thing and the one important thing that you can use when you initially start working with the client is the wheel of life. And the wheel of life is a wheel that has every aspect of your life. And what they have to do is they have to give it a number, and that determines, like, they can see where the balances and the imbalances are. And therefore, that is a good starting point to go through this process with them, taking each aspect as they complete one, they go to the next, they go to the next, they go to the next, and so on. And this should be used at the beginning with the client. After today, I agree, it's a good place. The process was awesome, and it brought us something to think about when we talk about being centered. So being balanced and the imbalances and the areas of our lives and within ourselves. So this would be the beginning of the process if we were given today. So having said that, I am going to now expand. I'm going to turn it over to Rosalba, who will expound on the intricate details of the thoughts shared by our panelists today. Rosalba, good evening.
Thank you. Good evening. For me, it's very good here with you. Okay, my English is little. Okay.
Thank you.
Luego de conversar de escuchar a René y ver de qué manera ha podido resumir lo vivido este tercer día de Quo Vadis y repasar todas estas expresiones, contenidos y aprendizajes que nos dieran hoy grandes referentes del coaching, extraordinarios amigos y coaches que han vivido profundamente procesos y me queda solo reflejar e ir lanzando algunas ideas o expresiones que dijeron los ponentes. Por ejemplo, en este tercer día se dedicó a la paz interna y a la atención plena. Empezando, me llamó mucho la atención lo que dijo Pepe del Río, de que la energía humana es una energía vital que comienza con una respiración, la vida, y termina con una respiración. Entonces, fue bastante reflexivo porque él dice que tiene una filosofía de vida y esa filosofía de vida es vivir el momento. Y esa filosofía lo hizo regresar al teatro y pone esas dos vertientes que para él significan estar en el presente, el teatro y el coaching. Pepe del Río nos dice que dentro de esta energía y filosofía de vida, considera que la paz interior y el estar centrados, consiguiendo atención plena, pasa por tres etapas. La etapa del pasado, del presente y del futuro. Y nos anima a estar allí en el presente, poniendo algunos ejemplos inclusive durísimos, como por ejemplo el tema de que los prisioneros que están privados de libertad están en el presente, porque están atentos a lo que esté sucediendo día a día. Entonces, él hablaba de que es importantísimo poder lograr esta concentración y esta atención plena para poder disfrutar del momento y justo cuando se trata de hacer coaching, estar en el presente y poder procesar esta conversación interna contigo mismo, este estar desde una conciencia plena para tu cliente es muy asertivo de parte de los coaches. Luego también comentó que para él es increíble conectar con el ahora desde saber lo bueno que somos y que podemos ser confiando en el proceso de coaching, pero como coaches también no apresurar los procesos de nuestros clientes, no apresurar hacia dónde van a llegar, sino dejar que fluya y que sea el cliente quien llegue a ver en el tiempo y en el momento su tiempo para poder procesar. Me gustó mucho cuando Pepe dijo que no es bueno llevar a los clientes a ningún lugar, sino dejar que ellos lleguen. Porque si no, realmente, si no está preparado para el resultado, entonces es mejor que se enfoque en el proceso. Eso me pareció significativo, ¿no? Hay algo también que me llamó la atención de lo que mencionó Marcelo. Marcelo habló ya de cómo asimilar o cómo comparar esto de escalar las montañas con algo hermoso que dijo: estamos viviendo un profundo anhelo de regresar a un lugar donde nos mantenemos juntos. Y eso me hace mucho sentido. La IAC, cuando habla de el hogar de las maestrías, entonces él dijo: ¿qué nos mantiene juntos? ¿Qué me conmueve? El hecho de que todos los seres humanos queremos regresar a un lugar, que no es el camino hacia la montaña, sino el regreso hacia el hogar, refiriéndose a aquello que está dentro de nosotros, a ese lugar donde si conseguimos atención plena, si conseguimos el enfoque, la concentración, utilizando la meditación y aprendiendo a conocer nuestras emociones, decía él, el miedo es una fuerza. Y relacionó las emociones como, por ejemplo, me llamó mucho la atención, el enojo como una emoción donde el ser humano quiere tener la razón y la perfección con aquel ser humano que se siente presionado. Entonces, él dijo, oye, disfrutemos de la vida. No se trata de estar viviéndola, sino de saber vivirla. Entonces, veo inteligencia, dijo él, cuando veo reflexión, aprendizaje, escucha y toma de decisiones. Eso me pareció hermosísimo. El camino no es subir a la montaña, sino regresar al hogar. Y luego Jessica Lu habló de que estar en atención plena, estar en el presente, es caminar el camino como lo hacen los peregrinos. Me pareció extraordinario eso. Sigue la línea de amarillo, dijo ella en su propia experiencia. Sigue el camino y yo estaba presente, prestando plena atención, porque esto de estar presente y estar en plena atención es como dijo Pepe, respirar desde que nacimos hasta que morimos. Pero ella dijo, es la práctica que estará presente en nuestras vidas hasta el final de nuestra vida. La concentración, la paz y estar enfocados o centrados. Habló de la importancia del silencio, de hacer espacios de conexión hacia adentro de nosotros mismos y también permitirle a nuestros clientes ese poderoso espacio que se llama silencio, en donde el otro se piensa, se construye, reflexiona. Pero también nosotros, ¿cómo poder nosotros ser coaches que tengan esa internalización, esa conciencia de que solo si tenemos esta paz interna, solo si logramos enfocar y concentrar meditando en lo que somos y no en lo que hacemos, sino en lo que somos, logramos ser mejores coaches desde nuestra paz? Y luego vino Gonzalo de la Canal a hablar acerca de la manera, me encantó, que dijo, la meditación mejora tus sentidos. Y cuán importante es realmente estar enfocado para ser mejores coaches, para ser mejores personas. Y algo que me parece importantísimo que dijo Gonzalo es, no estamos diseñados para ser multitasking, como la generación nueva, como los jóvenes, sino más bien para enfocarnos en las cosas. Y finalmente, me gustó mucho lo que dijo Débora. Tú puedes llevar al cliente a algo que tú no has experimentado. Tú no puedes llevar a un cliente a algo que tú no has experimentado. Entonces, creo que hoy fue un regalo de paz, de conciencia, de regalarnos a nosotros mismos esa capacidad para procesar presente, pero sobre todo para poder fortalecer nuestra mente, para poder tener la capacidad de estar enfocado, centrado en paz, para poder dar paz. Así que ha sido realmente majestuoso este tercer día de Quo Vadis.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosalba. Excellent. Again, this is the news, the Quo Vadis news update for day 3. Join us tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for day 4, which is reimagining leadership coaching. So if you can't make it tomorrow morning at 8:30, it's 8:30 to 10, you can join us tomorrow night again at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for the news update, which we will share with you the happenings or the highlights of the day. Before we go, just let me share with you these last 2 days have been in line with what the USA chapter has been presenting for the last couple of months, which is coaching, embracing the beauty of being human. And in that, we are talking about those elements that are in us and are as humans. And we did intuition, and we are getting ready to do self-regulation. So we did family, we did intuition, and now we're getting ready to do self-regulation, and that's going to be November 30th. So look, if you want to hear more about things like this, join us in our Power Hour on November 30th. Look for that information. So having said that, also let me say too that we are an inclusive, diverse chapter. So that's why you're hearing English and Spanish, because America is a melting pot, and so is the chapter. And we are family. And have a great night. Right?
See you in our hours. Good
That's
night.
right. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
The International Association of Coaching. Home of the coaching mastery.